Hello. Uh, what are you doing here?
Well, to be honest, I'm quite amazed at that on your table, Joe. That's a hell of a lot of fruit you've got there today.
Oh, I thought you were referring to my OCR economics
Well,
book.
I take it for granted you're going to be reading that.
Well, that goes without saying. But yeah, no, I've got my fruit here. I've taken a bit of a health kick in the last few months. I'm starting trying to eat sort of fruit on a daily basis. But I mean, the reason why I've probably done that is A, because I want to get healthy, because body's a temple and all that. But also it's the fact that it's actually roughly about £1 cheaper per portion of fruit.
Pound cheaper, really?
Absolutely, yeah. But I don't really know the reasons why it's actually become cheaper. I mean, I am sort of an economist, but I can't really seem to get it right in my head why it's gone cheaper.
I know, Joe.
Why?
Well, it's because the subsidies that have just been given to retailers for fruit.
A subsidy?
A subsidy. Can you remember that?
And I've heard the phrase before, or heard the word before, but I don't really know what it means. Can you maybe
Yeah,
elaborate?
of course I can. It's a payment from the government to a producer to encourage them to produce more of a good or service.
Right, so I suppose it's like a sort of an incentive really for maybe retailers to offer a certain good that maybe they feel people need to have?
That's a pretty good way of looking at it. That's a more sort of human view of looking at it, isn't it?
Okay, but is there, can you link the demand and supply diagram to the implementation of a subsidy?
Do you know what? If we had somewhere to draw it, I could show you right now. I reckon you could work it out.
Well, Pete, now that you say that, I happen to carry around one of these with me most of the time.
Do you know, I'm happier with you holding a whiteboard than pointing that banana at me, but let's go for the whiteboard.
Right, so what I'm thinking is let's just start off by drawing a regular demand and supply diagram. Okay, so I'm just going to put price, quantity, and what we'll do is we'll show the initial equilibrium between demand and supply. So down with demand, sorry about this, and up with supply. Supply to the sky. Now what we'll see is that the equilibrium, price and quantity, so that's P, we'll call that Q.
Yep.
Now, when a subsidy is actually implemented, what I'm thinking is happening is that because it's an incentive, it lowers the cost of production for retailers or for suppliers or for manufacturers, it'll actually shift the supply curve to the right. So what we'll see is a movement from S to S1, as we can see here. But what we do need to put in as well is the new equilibrium quantity that's being demanded and supplied. So we'll show that here. So it's a movement to QE1. Call that QE, as we can see here. But also we need to show the new equilibrium price, and we're going to call that P1. And note the use of arrows here. So the actual price has gone down, the equilibrium quantity has actually gone up, which is a perfect scenario because it's cheaper for us to buy the fruit, and hopefully that will result in people actually buying more.
That's great. Who knew you could turn fresh fruit into a diagram, Joe?
Well, making these combinations is what we do on a daily basis, isn't it, Pete? But the thing though is, I mean, well, first I'm thinking, does it work? But also, who provides the subsidy? Who actually bears the burden of this cost?
Well, the way I look at it, it's going to be the government, isn't it? That's where the funding comes from initially.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Let's have a little look at this fresh fruit as well. That, we assume, is going to be really good for you, and by eating that, you're going to be a little bit healthier. And perhaps if you'd gone in there before into the canteen, you'd have brought some chocolate and some crisps, and that would have led to sort of health problems. So hopefully by you eating that fresh fruit and other people doing similar things, you're going to take a little bit of pressure off a health service. So that's an external party, a third party that's going to gain a little bit of a benefit. So you could argue that this campaign, this subsidy, would lead to positive externalities.
Right, okay. But this is the thing though. I'm going down every day and I'm buying fruit and I'm trying to be healthy. But I see one of the guys in my...
Not Adam Smith.
It's Smith every time.
Yeah.
On his third bag of crisps
tell
by
me
11
about it.
o'clock. And I'll tell you another person, Paul Krugman, an awful man for the chocolate. Mars bar after Mars bar. They're not listening to anything that's being said on the news, or they don't seem to even be aware that what they're eating is actually harmful for them.
Yeah. I think the subsidy for those guys would have to be absolutely enormous. And if you just bring your diagram back again.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I just wonder if that supply curve shifted massively to the right, it'd have a really low price, maybe something like 2p a banana or 2p an orange. Maybe those guys might be interested then.
So you're thinking it needs to be a significant drop in price?
Massive shift. But then, to be honest, you see, you've swapped, you've changed your buying decisions, but that's because you're quite a healthy guy as well. I think for many people, the demand curve might actually be inelastic?
Yeah, I'm thinking probably quite inelastic, so a bit more sort of
So even if the price,
vertical.
price of fresh fruit goes down quite a lot, I'm not sure if people are going to change their buying preferences. And the biggest concern, of course, is this is coming from the government.
Okay, and we know government decisions change every 4 years, I suppose, when they're up for re-election.
Yeah,
so.
and even more worrying than that is this subsidy. You've got the opportunity cost, so if we're spending it on fresh fruit, it's not going to tackle youth unemployment, or it's not paying me an extra wage. Maybe that'd be a little bit selfish, but there's a massive opportunity cost in here.
Absolutely.
I was just wandering by. I can't believe what we've just got involved in. We've had diagrams, we've had economic concepts again.
I know, but did you notice the running trend here is that every time I want to eat, it was breakfast last week, and now I'm trying to just have a bit of fruit, and you come here bugging me about economics. Okay, can you just give it a break, please?
I promise, Matt. I'm on my way. I'll leave you in peace. Enjoy that banana, won't you?
Thank you very much.